This is Dr. Hillary from Hunt Harvest Health. Today I am here with James Sylvester. He is actually, he's a good friend of ours, but he's also family. He's by marriage. We don't look related, do we? No. But I'm here today surrounded by James's artwork. And I have been really bothering him now for a number of months to share his artwork. And to take it forward and to bring it online and to offer it to folks like you who may be interested in having some of it hanging in your house or your work or wherever you're at. And so I just wanted to talk with you a little bit today, James, so you could introduce yourself. And I know you don't like to do that. You're kind of like Ryan, doesn't really like to talk about yourself and your work, but it's so amazing that I think you should share it. Okay, so the very first question really has to do with who you are and what is it. I've noticed like your pictures really have a strong outdoor theme. So mountains and animals seem to be the big theme.
Oh, for sure.
Give us a little background.
You know, like outdoors is definitely like a passion of mine. So a lot of it started, I've been taking photos forever, but a lot of it started with just you know, going to the backcountry and doing some hunting and seeing these animals in the wild. So then, you know, you end up taking some pictures here and there, and then you get back and you see these pictures, and they kind of remind you of that journey and that adventure. It ends up rolling into, you know, an obsession of just, you know, taking cool pictures and showing like the wildlife and nature and what being in the outdoors is all about, really, you know. I mean, because it just changes you when you're out there and you see animals, and man, it kind of captures you, and it's hard to get away from it after that. Like you just always find yourself trying to go back out there and trying to see animals. And
because I notice a lot of your photography is big mountains, and you know, here in the Pacific Northwest, we have big mountains, like Rainier, Baker,
St. Helens.
Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, I mean, there's the whole Cascade Range is like a beautiful place, and I mean, we live in one of the most beautiful places in the world, I think, you know, and we're pretty lucky, and I think a lot of people don't really get to see all of it, and you know, some of it takes a lot of hiking and backpacking to get into, but I mean, there's some really cool areas around for sure. I think Washington doesn't get a lot of credit as far as like hunting and backcountry type stuff. I mean, it's like a lot of places like Idaho or, you know, Colorado,
Montana.
But, and it's just, and really we have awesome mountains, but I think we have a lot less animals, you know, so it makes it a lot tougher to find them, and if you're hunting or if you're photographing, you know, but, you know, a lot of it was talking with Joe and Ryan, and, you know, you see their love for the outdoors, and obviously it's, you know, it's super inspirational to see that, and I think no matter, you know, if you're into adventure and that kind of a thing, if you hear their stories about hunting, you instantly get drawn to that. And I mean, when I started hunting or even going out into that wilderness, I did it by myself just because I had nobody else to go with. So, but
Did your dad hunt?
My dad did hunt. Yeah, when I was young, my dad took me hunting. You know, and he killed elk in the '90s with like just one of the old bows that they had back then. And he was just like, he was into the outdoors a lot. Like, he's a big time fisherman, fly fishing. We used to tie flies all the time. And so, yeah, he was really, really into outdoors for sure.
Yeah, and you've done some photography with Ryan. I know a couple of years ago you went on his Eastern Montana mule deer hunt with him.
Yeah, we went, we went on an elk hunt and mule deer hunt and antelope.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, pretty cool. And I was really, you know, I'd been doing photography for a while, but I was really new into like, you know, doing that and with the objective of getting a lot of cool shots. So it was kind of a first time thing for me on that one. But it was cool because I got to learn a lot. And, you know, hanging out with Ryan's always fun for sure. You always see a lot of cool things. And,
and you get beat up.
Yeah, you get to go. You get to go. Yeah, you get to go. You know, you get to hike a lot and get into the backcountry, and you know, he ended up getting a really nice elk, and I killed a nice mule deer on that hunt, and he got an antelope too.
Well, James has also done a lot of the photography that's on our website. So when we decided that we were going to do Hunt Harvest Health, we had a lot of pictures, but we didn't really have any professional pictures of our garden. And so if you go to our website and opening page and the banner, most of those pictures James took. In the garden, the one with us and all the kale. Last year we had, we still have a ridiculous amount of kale
it looks
out
really
there.
good for sure. Yeah.
But we need new pictures this year. But he did all that photography, and those pictures have just, I mean, we've gotten so many comments on those pictures. Who took those pictures? They're so awesome. And I know that editing is a really big piece of the picture for you. Can you speak a little bit about the editing?
I try to put out maybe less photos, but I try to spend more time on single photos that I really like or that I think are worthy of editing, you know. I always try to learn a little bit more and try to get into all aspects of photography. I mean, whether it's like outdoor or portrait or landscape, I mean, you know, I try to like learn a little bit of it all so that I can get a better perspective of it all and add it all together.
Your portraits are really unique too. You've got a number of portraits on your Instagram page with your daughter and your wife and other subjects, and I just love the way you edit them. So I think
I really like doing that. Portraits are a thing that I never started out doing, but then once I started doing them, I really enjoy them for sure.
Right.
Yeah, like you can kind of you get into this feeling when you're it's like when you're editing a portrait, you know, and it's really personal for sure.
Oh, I noticed on your new website, Sylvester.
SylvesterPhotos.com.
SylvesterPhotos.com. You've got a number of your pictures on there, your photos, and I did notice that you have interesting names for all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you can just share a little bit about how you get the names.
Yeah,
for
honestly,
your photos.
the names on the photos are a lot of times random, but they usually come from like a lyric or a song that I'm listening to, because when I'm editing, I usually listen to music. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times a feel of a picture, you know, I'll play a certain song, and I listen to a lot of different types of music for sure. But yeah, and even a lot of the ones on Instagram, you know, when I write like this little thing about the photo, you know, I usually it's usually lyrics.
It's usually a lyric.
A lyric off something I'm listening to, which is hard because I think a lot of people that look at the photo will read it and they don't really know the tone or the song that it is. But if you know the song, I mean, you could probably feel it. You know what I mean? Like you kind of get a feeling off a photo or yeah.
And that's the cool thing, right, about photography is like not every picture you see you're going to have a reaction to or a feeling for, but it's like music. If you know a song and you know the lyrics of a song, for me it's like 80s music, 70s and 80s music. That's what I grew up on, and I mean, you could, you know, name lyrics in a lot of those songs and I would know exactly and I would get a feeling, you know? And I think that's kind of the same thing with photography. It's like you see a picture and you're just drawn to it, and the whole reason we're doing this is because, I don't know, it was a couple months ago, I was flipping through your Instagram, and this picture of the fish up here on my wall came up on your Instagram, on my Instagram, your Instagram, whatever. And I was like, I want one of those. Because it just looks so amazing the way he had edited it. And your wife showed up with one.
Yeah.
And I took it out of the box, and I'm not even kidding you. It looks like 1,000 times better printed on the canvas than it did on Instagram, and it looks like a painting.
Yeah, it does.
Like somebody painted it.
That one turned out really cool, and it was really what happened with that one was just lighting and water, and obviously the fish. But you know, I just edited that one a little bit different than normal because I do try to do that. I get in this zone of editing, and I edit a certain way, and I like it a certain way. But you know, of course, every once in a while, I try to branch off from that and do something different and make it brighter or more, you know, pop more. And that one was one of them. And you know, I probably would have never printed it if you didn't, you know, comment on it. And then I was like, oh, well, I'll print it and see what happens. And I honestly, it's probably one of my favorite pictures I've printed yet. So.
What about the fox back here? Let's talk a little bit about the fox.
Honestly, yeah, some of my fox photos are probably some of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, the timing and the day that I had, it ended up working out really well, and I got a lot of good photographs of that fox. The lighting was good.
Yeah, there's a number of those on your website, right?
Yeah, and I have more that I'm editing all the time, so. Yeah, I'll throw up more fox photos, you know.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, I like them for sure.
What's the name?
On the Prowl, I think.
On the Prowl.
Yeah, on the Prowl, yeah. I try to name them all, you know, so.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another one of my faves. What's the name of this one?
I think it's just short-eared owl in flight or something like that. But yeah.
The lighting is not really great right now, and I don't have a professional video team here like I should, but you can see this on the website, and really the website doesn't even do it justice. It looks amazing on the canvas. Can you tell us a little bit about this? It looks like an owl.
Yep. Owl in flight, and I just had a good shutter speed on it, so basically you can see that his wings are kind of in motion, but his eyes and is in focus and sharp. So yeah, it just gives a cool look to the photo. You can tell that he's flying and moving, but yeah, it still looks really good.
Yeah, it's such a cool photo.
Yeah, and it's kind of white on top, and it just kind of gives like a different dynamic to the photo.
Yeah, it's not busy. I like that about it, and it brings your eye right to like the action, the subject, which is this amazing bird.
Yeah, and his eye looks really cool, and I've got quite a few photos of short-eared owls too, but I think that one's probably one of my favorites for sure, just because of the way it's just unique, so.
Yeah, and you have some great eagle shots. We're lucky in the Pacific Northwest. We get to see eagles quite frequently, especially certain times of the year.
Yeah.
And we live up by the Skagit Valley, which is where a lot of the eagles come and feed when is that, in the fall?
In the fall and winter, and and I'll be getting more photos of them too coming up. I'm not really like a bird photographer, because there's some guys that are really into bird photography. And I do like it because I carry my camera all the time if I see a cool bird or something, but I'm into like birds of prey a lot.
We're really blessed here to be able
we're spoiled for sure.
To see the wildlife that we see here, but the eagles are pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
And just the mountains that we have here in the Northwest.
Well, speaking of that, over here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is one of, let's take it down so people can see it. Oh, yeah. This is one of the amazing mountain shots that he has. Do you want to tell people what mountain it is?
Yeah, it's St. Helens. And you can see kind of like the craters on that side there. But just cool cloud cover and shadows. And it was a stormy day, hiking through there. And actually I drug my whole family up. And we were hiking, and it was hailing, and it was windy and cold, and it was just a good time. I got a good workout, and we hiked way back in there, and I always push them a little bit further than I should, but I think when we get back, they're all happy about it.
Yeah,
maybe not at the time.
What I want you to do is tell people how they can find you and where they can order their own prints.
I got a website that I just started. It's sylvesterphotos.com. And then you can also find me on Instagram, _sly_Sylvester.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what if there are some photos, you've got a bunch of photos on your website and all the different dimensions, and as well as there's some different wrappings.
Yeah, some of them are classic wraps where the picture actually wraps around the canvas, and then some of them have borders. Some of them are black borders and things like that. Yeah, and as the website gets going more, I'll be offering more stuff. Like metal prints.
Really? They print on metal?
Yeah, they do, and it's actually really effective. It's a bit more expensive than canvas, but it's definitely like a glossy type of look, and your picture pops out really nicely.
Cool. Awesome. If somebody wanted something that's on your Instagram page that's not on your website, can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, for sure. They can DM me on Instagram, anytime. And if they got any questions about anything, I'm happy to answer them for sure. And if they want like a print that I don't have on my website, I can definitely probably do that,
Okay.
Yeah, I can definitely print anything I pretty much put on there.
All right. Sweet. Well, thanks for sharing this stuff finally. I can't wait to have an entire house full of it. That's my goal. So that's it.
Yeah,
Thanks, James.
thanks for having me on here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.